Welcome to my channel. My name is Sammy. Let's see what series I'm going to continue in 2024. Let's go. So I thought it'd be fun is to go through all the books I read this year and see which ones are series and say if I'm going to continue reading them or not. Well, let's look at Goodreads. So the first book I read that's part of a series is The Bullet That Missed. It is part of the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman. So this series is about a group of elderly people in a retirement village, and they start the Thursday Murder Club and solve murders together. It's so good. I'm literally obsessed with this series. I will protect Abraham at all costs. I'm Abraham, girly. Listen, Richard, look me in the eye. Don't you dare do anything to Abraham. Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be continuing this series. I actually did read the fourth book. I'll get to that when I get there. But I absolutely will read and probably reread every single book in the Thursday Murder Club series. Please, Richard, never stop reading them. Thank you. Next book, I don't know if it's necessarily like series, but in my head it's a series. I read The Murder in the Mews. It's a Hercule Poirot book by Agatha Christie. This one is actually a compilation of a bunch of short stories of hers, of Poirot, and so they're all in one book together. So it's like, I think 4 short stories, and this was the first short story I read. I've been trying to save them because the day I get to the last book, I'm not going to be okay. I'm not going to be okay if when I get to the last Poirot book, no one talk to me because I'm not going to be okay. So that's why I'm kind of saving a lot of the little short stories of Poirot's actually till the end. So after I read the last book, so I don't literally lose my mind missing Poirot, they'll have some short stories to read. So I actually read this one because I was curious about the short stories, how she was going to, solve a mystery in only a few chapters. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would consider this a series of I consider Poirot's books a series because it's a reoccurring character. And if you haven't read Agatha Christie and you love mysteries, read Agatha Christie. I actually lately been wanting to read My First Miss Marple. It's another character series of hers. It's an older lady who solves murders, and I really need to start that one. And yeah, so I'm definitely going to be continuing Poirot as a series. I'm trying to remember how many I've read so far. I have all the books. Can you see? I have all the books of Agatha Christie's listed. I have Poirot, and then I have Miss Marple. There's a Tommy and Tuppence. I don't know how to say that. It's another series. Superintendent Battle, and then all her standalones and short stories. So I have read 17 Poirot books so far in the series, and I actually want to read, I think I have it. There's 2 Christmas ones of Poirot. I actually have it here. I'll show you. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I found them. So I actually have 2 Christmassy Poirot books by Agatha Christie. So I have Hercule Poirot Christmas, and I actually got this from the used bookstore. I think it's just like, the Amazon printed copy, but 50 cents. And then the other one is, I think, another, modern print, but The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. And it is a Poirot too. And 50 cents. So I have been reading the Poirot series in order, unless I have them and I really want to read it. Like these 2, I'm probably going to, jump ahead, just be able to read these in this month of December. So hopefully I can get to them, or at least one, because it's the time. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna read those. Okay, so yeah, definitely continuing the Poirot series. Highly recommend. The only warning I have, it's not really a warning, but just there is a lot of French in it. Poirot speaks French, and so most of the time she does translate what he says, but the other half of the time she doesn't. And so when I first started reading, I was so confused. I was like, what did he say? And I had to keep Googling, looking up, Google Translate, and eventually I just decided I wanted to learn some French, so I would at least get the gist of what he was saying. And I started Duolingo this year, and I just got a thing that it's been a whole year. And I can pop up my stats really quick because I'm really proud of it and my streak. I'm the top 9% of learners. I'm just saying, it's the most consistent thing I've done. I'm so proud of myself. And yeah, I keep saying Ashante. Ashante. Or s'il vous plaît. See, I can't do it. I sound so stupid. But I can read it at least. So, just a little warning, just so you know, if you're gonna get into it. I'm back. I don't know if you can tell that I was gone, but my card was full of my camera and it took me forever to figure out how to reformat it. Okay. Where were we? Definitely continuing pretty much every series that Agatha Christie has. So, awesome. Highly recommend. Okay, so the next, I don't know if it really counts, but the Harrington series, I read the whole series of 3, but then there was a 4th, or someone, the Brothers Hawthorne or something that came out. I was gonna read it, but then I heard people talking about that it was the guy's perspective, the brothers, but only the 2 brothers. It wasn't all the brothers, and it was just basically their perspective of things that already happened. And like, I might get to that at one point, but I'm not in a rush to. So there's this book series I started this year. It's called the Christie Bookshop Mystery by Anne Claire, and I did read the first book, Dead in Gondola, which Mom actually picked out me at the library and was like, oh, with the Christie one, to try out, and I actually loved it. It's just a cozy mystery. It's really nice. I highly recommend. I did read the second one too as a arc, Last Word to the Wise. I really love it. I love these characters, and I love the little sprinkle of Agatha Christie stuff inside, so that was really nice. And I really enjoyed it. So definitely if she comes out with more in that series, I would definitely be reading next year. Next is the Agathas series by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson, I hope I said that right. I read the first and second book this year, and I think the second one's like the 9 question. I actually feel like I like the second book more than the first. Probably honestly just because like I knew the characters more and they would get more into like their lives more than the first one. I feel like was kind of like surface level. And I'm definitely going to be reading because there's 2 characters I really want together, and I will be reading until they get together. So I really enjoy it. It is it's another with Agatha Christie sprinkled in there, but definitely less than the Christie Bookshop Mystery. That one's more Agatha Christie in there. The Agatha's is just a little sprinkle, which is kind of confusing because I thought the one girl read Agatha Christie. She kind of name drops sometimes, but they don't really do like, oh, this book of Agatha Christie helped me solve this murder mystery that's going on in the book. You know what I'm saying? So it's not my favorite Agatha inspired series, but I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy the characters, so I do recommend it. Oh, I think that's part of the series. I'm trying to remember if this one is this the Madden by Alex. I am not gonna even attempt to say that name. I'm so sorry. It says it's the same author of I did read The Silent Patient this year, and I got this Silent Patient and this I got used. This is an old library book. I think there is like a character in here who is in Silent Patient, but I don't know if it's actually considered a series. So honestly, I might read this eventually. Actually, Silent Patient was okay. It actually wasn't my favorite. I kind of like knew where it was going, and I didn't really get the thrill of vibes, you know? It was okay. So maybe get to that, maybe not. Because I have it, I will probably get to it at some point. But I don't really know if that's considered a series. Okay, so the next one I actually got used too. I think I have it here. I have these 2. So I read this one this year. I got these both used. I got these 2 new hardcover books for $1 at a used bookstore. So this is The Grim Reader by Kaye. Carl C. I don't know. I'm so sorry. So this is a mystery series. I think it's been going on for a good amount of time. It's based in San Francisco, and there's recipes in here too. So that's always fun. But yeah, I saw a cat and I saw it was a mystery and I grabbed it. And there was 2. Of course, this is like, what number is this? Number 14. So obviously I didn't read in order, but like, I feel like she did do a good job of, to get the gist of what's happening. And honestly, I didn't really like it. I feel like the mystery wasn't like that good, if I'm being honest. It was good writing, but it was just the mystery. I was like, that's who did it. And then, yeah. So it was my favorite, but I do have, I think this might be 15 or something like that. Because I want to read in order. So these are only 2 of the series I have. I will probably eventually read this one, give it another chance. But after this one, if I'm like not feeling it, I most likely will not continue with the rest of the series, to be honest. Okay, so next, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Obsessed. I've been procrastinating reading the rest of the series. I made myself wait till 2024 because then, like, when it's over, it's over. Because I think there's only 3 in the series. Because I know she's going to be in college, so I know the first one's going to be, like, my top favorite. But, yeah. I'm definitely going to read the series. I'm going to be obsessed. Love it. Highly recommend. Go read it. It's so good. It's so good. I can't get over it. If you don't know, it's about a girl who decides she's going to go look into a cold case as her senior project. It's so good. It's so good. But I do have to say, there is, like, I won't spoil nothing, but there is one trigger warning in here. If you don't want to know any trigger warnings, skip like a second. There's violence towards animal. Just wanted to say that just in case, because that kind of surprised me. And I did have to go in my room and cry for a little bit because I was not prepared for that. So, warning. Definitely reading the rest of the series in 2024. Yep. I don't know if this is considered a series necessarily, but I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams. It was okay. It was okay. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't my favorite romance. I never read one with a celebrity and normal person kind of thing, so that was interesting. I mostly read this because when I found out that the second book that came out, I forgot what it's called, has the main guy's in the first one's sister and that chick's bodyguard as a pairing, and I was like, that sounds really cute. So I think I'll definitely read the second book. I'm assuming she's gonna do all the sisters because he has like a bunch of sisters. I'm assuming, but like, are they all gonna end up with someone on her team? I don't know how I feel about that. So I don't know if it's really considered a series, but I guess maybe. If I get to it, we'll see. But not in a rush. Okay, the next series is the first one that I know I'm not going to be reading. I'm not going to be continuing. So this year I read A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Carvalho. I hope I said that right. I read this because the premise was they're like relatives of Watson and Sherlock. The girl is related to Sherlock, the boy is related to Watson, and they wind up at the same college or high school, I think college, together. And I thought, oh my gosh, a romance between a Sherlock and a Watson, sign me up. No, I was wrong. I shouldn't have signed anything. This is supposed to be YA. And it's not, in my opinion. There's a lot of trigger warnings. If you don't want to go see that, go watch my wrap up where I read it. What month did I read that? I read it in September. It's my September wrap up. Go look there for the trigger warnings. Not continuing. Nope. And then yeah, I read The Last Devil to Die, which is the 4th book in the Thursday Murder Club series. Definitely keeping reading the series 110%. I love these characters, and this better never end. Okay, Richard. But I did read in the acknowledgements at the end of this book that Richard said that he's gonna take a little pause on the Thursday Murder Club series and try out another series. I think it said something like what was it, like a daughter-in-law, father-in-law, detective duo, something like that. A series he's gonna try out, and I'm totally on to reading that. I'm totally gonna try that out. Sounds super interesting. But yes, please, I can wait. I'm patient. But I'm gonna need more Thursday Murder Club series. Thank you. Okay, I'll shut up. Okay, next is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I'm not gonna go too much into this because I think the boycott's still going on. All I'm gonna say is the second book, Ruthless Vows, coming out this month. I will definitely be reading. Thumbs up. Okay, next, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I will definitely be continuing the series. I read this in my Book Dice video if you want to go check that out. I'm trying to ease into the fantasy genre, but I'm exclusively gonna only read fantasy romance. And I am obsessed with Jack, so I'm definitely gonna be reading the next book. There's 3 now because the 3rd one just came out, right? And so I'm super excited, definitely continuing the series. I am teetering back and forth if after I read the series if I should go back and read Carvel. I want to say Carnival. Carvel. Yeah, I am, because some people said they liked Once Upon a Broken Heart more than Carvel. I don't know how to say that. So that's why a lot of people said you don't need to read that. And I read the first one. I feel like I was a little confused in the beginning, but like I started writing to the story, and I feel like eventually throughout the whole book I did get the gist of the whole history. But I'm assuming Carvel explains the history with the Fates more. I don't know. Can someone just tell me, is there a romance in Carvel? If there's a romance, then I might read it. But after Once Upon a Broken Heart. We'll see. But definitely continue the series. Next is... oh, actually, is it the last? I think this is the last one. So the last book series is The Naturals. I read the first one like literally weeks ago, days ago. I don't even know anymore. I think like a couple weeks ago. I don't know. Time. But this is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, same as The Inheritance. I already can tell you, first book, obsessed with it more than Inheritance Games. 100%. Obsessed. I think there's 3 more books in the series. I think. It's gonna be really hard for me not to binge them all in literally January. It's gonna be hard. I have to teach myself patience. I'm talking too much, but that's what I think I'm leaning towards. Is I need to just kind of stretch out, take my time with series. Because if I don't, then like it's over and done with, and I'll never see those characters again. But then it does bug me sometimes when like you have a series going, like you have one more book in a series. Like it's gonna be just like, hello, you didn't finish me. It's gonna bug me. I think what I'll do is if it doesn't leave with a huge cliffhanger, then I'll give myself some time. If it's a big, huge cliffhanger, I'm reading the next book. I think out of all of them, Pero and the Natural series are probably the top 2 that I'm probably going to read in the beginning of 2024 because I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I think that's all the series I read this year, and I'm excited to try new ones. If you have a favorite series that I didn't mention, comment down below. I would be curious to hear about that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. Happy Bookmas Day 7, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Well, now my son's in my lap, so hold on. We need cuddles. I didn't put lipstick on. I didn't put lipstick on. Rude. Why didn't you remind me to put lipstick on?